Today, I am taking you behind the scenes of my studio. I recently did a whole studio refresh. It wasn't a remodel, it was just a refresh. But during that time, I was able to reorganize and reimagine my space in a way that works for me. If you'd like to see how I did that, stay with me. I'm Jackie Bernardi, and welcome to my recently refreshed studio. Before we get started, I want to explain a couple things. With this studio refresh, I have actually created stations within the studios. So as we follow along, we're going to go station by station, and we're going to start with the first station, which is the giant workstation. Now, the giant workstation has been created so I can start working large again. It's been a decade, more than a decade, since I've worked large. And I love it. So I wanted to make sure there was a station where I could do that. So what I did is I took a roll of canvas. This is unprimed cotton duck, 10-ounce canvas, and it's very heavy in this roll, I'm not going to lie. And I put it up on this wall. Now, this wall used to be covered by a whole bookcase. I had that removed. And underneath the canvas is some plastic sheeting. I'll show you that in a moment. But this canvas here makes me so happy because now I can finally work on the giant oyster collage that I've been saying that I was going to work on for over a year now. So this makes me extremely happy. One of the things that I wanted to say is that every decision that I made inside the primary studio was based on what was functional and what makes me happy. So the choices I made may not be choices that you would make, but I'm going to show them anyway, just to show you different options. So now I have a giant canvas that I can work on. This is 5 foot wide by 8 feet tall, and I even brought the canvas down onto the floor, as you can see here. And I had that canvas and the plastic sheeting extend underneath the rug. As paint and water and all sorts of things drip down the wall, it's not getting on my hardwood floors. Next up is the gel plate station, and this also makes me super happy. One of the problems that I've always had with the number of gel plates I have, this is not bragging, it's just I do have a lot of gel plates and I use them all. I'm not the standard user for gel plates. I'm filming all the time. I have lots of different things happening at once, so I have a lot. But I wanted a place where I could store them where it was taking up no horizontal space in my studio because they really took up an awful lot of space. So I rigged this system where I could hang all of my gel plates. And I'm going to show you this right now. Not only am I going to show you how I'm hanging them, but I'm going to show you how I set them up to be hung. I have on this wall installed these hooks, and I got these on Amazon. Every single thing that made a difference in this refresh will be listed in the description below, including these hooks. So all you do is you take them apart, you screw them in to the wall. I did use wall anchors because I've got a lot of gel plates and they're quite heavy. And then there's a little cap that goes over it, right? So it looks nice. Now, once those were installed, I had ordered some plexiglass that all the pieces of plexiglass that I use are at least 2 inches or more larger than the biggest gel plate that will go on it. Here's the number one thing to know about putting your gel plates on plexiglass. You must remove the film that comes on sheets of plexiglass. If your plexiglass is not crystal clear when you get it, that means there's a film on it. Remove the film, because if you don't, the gel plate will suck up the film and it will create bubbles in your gel plate. So don't do that. If you remove it and put your gel plate on the plexiglass with care, you will not get air bubbles that will do damage. Now that I've explained the really important thing, which is taking the film off, now I'm going to show you how I created these plexiglass holders for the gel plate. So I have this, it's called a bulldog clip. And again, it is listed in the description. These are just standard clips. You've seen these clips a million times. And all I'm going to do is I am going to glue them onto, or in this case, I'm going to glue this one clip onto this sheet of plexiglass. This is for just for demonstration purpose. I've already created all the plexiglass hanging sheets that I'm going to be using, but I wanted to show you how I did it. So first thing I do is I put the clip on the plexiglass about where I think it should be. So for the hanging ones, I had to put 2 clips on each piece of plexiglass. For this demo, I'm just going to do 1. And I took a Sharpie to mark the outside edges of the clip so that I could remove it and then put the E6000 on it. Now, E6000, if you don't know what it is super glue. It is the superest of super glues, and you don't want to get it on your hands. If you do get it on your hands, there is a way to remove it. I just covered that this past week inside the free resources community. If you're not a member yet, please join it. There's no reason not to, and there's all sorts of great things happening in there. Anyway, I put the E6000 down and I'm putting the clip back on it and moving it around. Now, important to me, maybe not important to you, but I am only going to glue this clip on one side, meaning I'm only going to put the glue on one side. The clip itself has to go on both sides of the plexiglass or else it won't do anything. The reason why I do that is because once this is completely dry, the side that the gel plate will go on, the clip will be permanent. It won't be movable. But the back side, I can move the clip. I can open it up and attach papers back there, which is just kind of a pro tip. If you are losing space for all your papers, this would be a way to manage it. Just like I did here on this gel plate holder. This is a different one than the one that I just demoed. This is one I've had for a long time now. This is the back side of it, not the side that I would put the gel plate on, but the back side of it. And because I can open up these clips, I could put this piece of paper on here. Now, if you watched last week's gel printing video, this was the very last piece of paper that I put down, and I didn't pull it till the next day. So this is the finished paper, and isn't it gorgeous? But I have found that hanging my gel plates has saved a ridiculous amount of space in my studio, and that makes me really happy. This is where I keep all my aprons now. Before, they were just kind of all over the place. Now I have a lovely place to keep my aprons. This top shelf right now is just kind of a mishmash of small pieces that I made and also pieces that were sent to me. But this bottom shelf is, both these shelves are from IKEA. The bottom shelf, the purpose of it is to hold works that I am currently working on and or to serve as a vertical space for me to work on smaller pieces. So instead of having an easel, I have this shelf, and so a canvas can stay in there and lean against the wall, and I can work vertically, which is something that I really enjoy doing and I look forward to doing again. Now this here is maybe the most pro of pro tips in my studio, and this is a gel mat, and it keeps my feet from getting exhausted from a long day in the studio. This here is my work table. This is not new. I've been working off of this table for 3.5 years now. It's massive. It's 72 inches by 36 inches. They actually don't make this table anymore. The new table is 72 inches by 30 inches. Still a huge table. But what I love about it is it has tons of space down below. Now, the thing that I have to watch out for is that I don't fill it up with junk. Here is my paint station. I am so happy with my paint station. Everything is pretty much at eye level, whereas before everything was in a bookcase. I had to bend over. I couldn't see anything. It was uncomfortable. And I was missing lots of creative opportunities because I couldn't just look and see what I wanted. This bookcase is from IKEA. It's the Billy bookcase. Again, everything's listed down below with links. It's wonderful. I'm able to keep so many supplies in here. Now, this left-hand side of this bookcase is all things that I use but don't use as much as the supplies on the right-hand side. And as I go down the bookcase, after this, the collage kit, and this is exactly what it is. That wooden box is my collage kit. Everything that I use for collage in terms of tools, I keep in this box. One place so I can always find it, and I'm happy with it. But as I go down the bookcase from this point on, these are items that I never use or very rarely use, but I still want them in the studio just in case. All right. For items that I truly almost never use, they're out in the other, the support studio. But here on this right-hand side is everything that makes me want to wake up in the morning, right? All my fluid acrylics, all my heavy-bodied acrylics, my continuous spray bottles, my mediums, my metallics and tube paints. Like these are all the things that get me so excited to create. And here are more mediums, larger size mediums, and the metallics. There's gessos down here, and then down below, these are my super tubs of mediums. I use a lot of supplies, guys. There's no doubt about it. And I found a way to keep them that excites me and makes them accessible. So that's my paint station. Now you're going to laugh at me, but this is my natural light station. And what I want to say about this is until I did this, my studio was so dark all the time. When you film, the best practice is to black out your windows so that the daytime light doesn't adjust the lighting. And it's true, your lighting is consistent if you don't have daytime lighting. But what I found was it was killing me creatively. So I got rid of all the dark and I put in new drapes and I keep them open almost all the time now. These are blackout drapes, so if I really need to black out the room, I can. Now we're moving into my office station. So my office actually is inside my studio, and it needs to be. A lot of the events that I host in the community are filmed from my desk point of view. And so it's important that I have that also when I'm on podcasts. So I have this space where this is actually where I do my work and my editing. This behind me, this shelf is all sorts of goodness, beautiful paintings that people have sent me, books that I love. Up on the wall are the kids' art frames that do such a terrific job of managing all the paper I create. Now this is on the other side of my workstation, and this is where I keep my equipment, my printer, my scanner, and so on. But this here, this is my paper station, and the fact that I got my paper area under control has tickled me to pieces, right? So in this box that you see here, this is where I keep all my rolls of paper, and it's everything. It's this netting that you've seen me use. It's the medical exam paper. It's textured wallpaper that I use in prints. It's all of that. And it's contained. I like it. And as that paper collection grows, all I have to do is just get another one of those little wicker boxes. The rest of the paper station is where I keep the papers that I use the most. So on this kitchen trolley is really what it is. I didn't buy this for the studio. We had this in the house, but I co-opted it. But it's where I keep all the copy paper, the newsprint, the cut up pieces of medical exam paper, and so on. But this here is the thing that makes me happiest in the paper station. And this is two actually two paper dispensers. They're 36 inches wide. The bottom one, I have two rolls of paper on it. The top one is a giant roll of white paper. That is the paper that I use to cover my work table when I'm creating. The fact that I have all the papers that I love and these colored papers, you may remember the video I did a few months ago where I was gel printing just plain colors so that you always have colors where your eyes can rest in collage. And so that I have installed these on the wall. I think you've seen me do this before, but with these curtain hooks. All right, it's time to take a look at the support studio. So this is a hallway that is about 10 feet long, goes directly into the studio. And so what I did is I went to IKEA and I bought these cabinets that are 18 inches deep. Now, most cabinets at IKEA are not that deep, so this is a very specific cabinet. It's called the Tonstad, and I actually got several sets of them to line the length of this hallway. It allowed me to create a stencil station. Yay! So this is where I keep all of my stencils. This giant red 3-ring binder holds, I don't even know how many stencils it could hold. I have maybe 100 in there right now. And I have these sleeves where I could put in a ton more. So it's a library of stencils that I can continue to develop, and it's all in one neat place, and I love that. Now I'm going to show you my drawers. This here is the drawer that is actually closest to the studio. And the tools that are in this drawer are my reason for living. These are the tools I use all the time. I've got a lot of brayers. I've got a lot of catalyst wedges. I've got a ton of paint shapers. Do you need this many? Absolutely not. This is just how I work. I have many different projects going on at one time. I try to keep the tools that I'm using in one project with that project so I don't misplace it and so on. So all the items in this drawer are items that I use a lot. Something I want to show you here, though, that I didn't know when I purchased this cabinet is the Tonstad series has the gentle close function on the drawers. So you could slam the drawer if you wanted, and it would just slowly close. And I love that. So next to the primary tool drawer is my brush drawer. And I got these fantastic plastic trays that work perfectly. My brushes, my long brushes fit in the long one, my short brushes fit in the short one, and it keeps everything really organized, and I can actually take the entire tray out and put it on my work table when I'm working if I want to, right? I love that. It just gives me options, and I love how neat and organized all of this looks. It's very exciting. And all my favorite brushes are in here, from the Badger brushes to the just all of them. It's just all my brushes live in that drawer now. Now the cabinets below those two drawers, I'm still working on all my cabinets. You'll see as I go through. They're a little bit junky still. I need to work through that. But in these two cabinets, this is where I'm keeping items that I am likely to use in the studio. They're just not necessary all the time to be in the studio. So things like Venetian plaster or sandstone, I don't use those all the time, so I just keep them out in the support studio. Now this cabinet here holds all my tools, actual tools like a hammer and a mallet and things like that that I would use in the studio. Next up is my adhesive drawer, and I think this is a pretty sexy drawer if you ask me. It's got all sorts of different types of tape, all sorts of different types of glues, of pastes. It's got the E6000, it's got washi tape. If it's adhesive or a clip, It's going to live in this drawer. This just makes my life so much easier when I'm really in it on a project and I need something quickly. I know exactly where it is, whereas my studio wasn't like that before. This next drawer is what I call my playful drawer, and it's just all sorts of fun items in here. This tool that I have in my hand right now creates perfectly round cuts from the papers, and my friend Jason told me about it, and the second he told me about it, I had to have it, right? So I went out and got it. I also have these beautiful block fish stamps and all the toys. If you saw last week's video, you saw my box of gel plate toys, I'm calling them now, but they make all sorts of great patterns and designs, and it's just really fun. It's also where I keep all my hole punches, and I am interested in doing lino cutting again. So I just over the holidays, I got some pieces. I haven't really started yet. And this is not a best practice. Don't do this with your tools. It's dangerous. But I'm excited to start playing with that. So I'm keeping that in my fun drawer, in my play drawer. But yeah, there's that soft close action I was telling you about. Oh, I really love that. I don't know, it feels so premium, you know? Right underneath those two drawers are more supplies, things that I'm not keeping in the studio, but I want to have studio adjacent, and that's why they're in the support studio. So these are the plastic containers that they all stack in one another, and these were the ones that I used with the paint brushes and also the favorite tools drawer. These are the rest of the stuff in here. That blue box is filled with my painted papers, all cut down to size. Um, then there's more papers down below. This was a bad camera angle, and I have to tell you, filming in this hallway was nearly impossible. The lighting was horrific. There was really not enough space between the camera and the cabinets, so please bear with me. Um, and again, as I said, I have not completely figured out the cabinet situation yet, and I'm not worried about that. In time, everything that I need to do and need to have in these cabinets will be revealed to me, and I'll be able to take care of that. But this one here, this is like the junk cabinet for right now. Now here is part of my creative book library. It's not all of them. I have actually several creativity libraries throughout the house, but these are some of my absolute go-to books. I love them. They're not listed down in the description. There's just too many. But get yourself some great creative books that really inspire you. And now we're moving over to my planning station. This is my calendar for the year, a quarterly calendar and an annual calendar. And you can see I have got a ton of events happening this year, and especially that first quarter. So let's go back and take a final look at everything, right? So these are corner to corner views, so you can kind of get a sense of space or the place. I love this. This here is what I'm pointing to now is some of the technology that I use to film my videos. If this is something that interests you, I am holding an event in a couple of weeks, and I would love for you to join me, but I'm only going to offer it to people inside my free resources community or on my mailing list. So if you're not on it, get on it. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes tour, and this is what I would watch next.